Welcome everyone to Aquatic Park today. Happy to see you all. It's a gorgeous Friday, gray outside, but we're going to have a great time in here. So we're going to begin with breathing. So as you softly find your way to your chair and with your water nearby. I'm on a stool today, of course, doesn't have any arms on the side, and I'm going to begin with breathing. So first you want to find a long spine. The long spine doesn't exactly start in the center of the head. It actually starts in the back of the head right here, as if you could lift yourself up by a string towards the heavens. The center of the body is absolutely through here, all the way down to your pelvis. And you want to be aware of that center as you move today. So for example, if you moved like this, you would want to have that dragon-like shape come sort of around in this area right here. Not out there, but here. So if we're doing a movement such as around the platter, you would start right in the center. You would move out towards this direction and back to the center and back always to the center, which when you think about it, is at your heart and lungs area, your middle dantian. If you're doing something like bass drum, you would start either right here, depending on how wide your chest to be. I would suggest a wide chest, or here. And as you exhale down to make your drum and inhale up, you're making a circle that is right connected to that center point, whether it's outside your breasts or within here. But you can decide how wide you want your circle to be. And be aware at the same time that the center of the body is here. As you inhale up and as you exhale down, the dantian or dantian is right here below the navel, about an inch inside, connected internally and externally as you move. Generally, as you move forward, it's an inhale here. And as you move back, it's an exhale. It's coming around the rims of a drum. Another aspect of any Qigong-related practice, like Tai Chi Chih, which is related to both Tai Chi Chuan and to Qigong, is that you are moving forward here with the inhale and back with the exhale. Perfect practice for this with bass drum is to feel that as you move forward with the pelvis, there's an opening at the belly, and as you move back, the air is moving back towards your Ming Men area, which is literally back here in the same spot, just opposite it. Probably generally in this area around the tailbone. So as you inhale out with your left foot on bass drum, here's your inhale, here's your exhale, and that energy is moving back towards the tailbone. I call that expansion here and contraction back. So there is usually, once you've practiced any of these Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, any of these advanced practices for working with our body, there is generally a pattern of the breath that we discover as we go along. But at the beginning, you're just like kind of lost, right? All right, so we don't want to be lost. We want to begin to find that path. Let's inhale here for bass drum. Again, drop it down, your drum, bring it through your legs. Inhale back up. So that's a fairly big bass drum if you're seated, and many people do this practice of Tai Chi Chih seated. Why not? You can actually probably feel the breath here better to learn it than you can standing. Notice how when you do this breath, there's also a feeling of connection to your sits bones, which are right under here. Those bones there, which we talk about a lot in yoga. Inhale forward, exhale back, and you'll feel a little movement forward on the sits bones and then back towards the back of the chair, whatever, across your sits bones. So as you notice all of these things, you think, wow, I thought this was an easy practice. Well, it is, but it's also involving a lot of different things: breath, movement, the mind, and the connection between emotional stability and physical stability, and the way we can connect breath to the feet, which is done through the energy C right here. All right, so that's just our little bit of thinking about the breath. Let's do a 3-part breath here, from the belly up to the collarbones. Seated on your chair here or stool, and feel the breath at the abdomen. Inhale right up through to the collarbones. Notice the expansion of the belly all the way up to the collarbones, and the exhale down does not essentially change the length of the spine. You'll see my head move up and down a little bit because as I drop down, the lack of air will cause me to get smaller. All right, so you're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine, exhale, release down towards the belly. And one more. Inhale, 3-part breath, and exhale. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me in the chat afterwards about breathing, because that's one of the things that I feel that I know a lot about. The other aspect to all this would be if I move forward here, so I'm closer to you and the camera, and I'm going to look at the breath that we talk about for Qigong. With a Qigong breath, we're basically inhaling through the nostrils right here, and we're exhaling through either the nostrils or that combined with the open throat. Now, how do we do that? We leave the mouth slightly open, the jaw's relaxed. It's a little bit of an inner smile here as you inhale and exhale back. And where's the tongue? The tongue is up here on this upper palate, fairly near the upper teeth, but nothing is tight to either the palate or the teeth. You can inhale through the nostrils with that opening and exhale through the mouth and nostrils. And you'll feel it going all the way down on the exhale. Inhale to expand with that belly and with the nostrils. Exhale to contract, bringing the air towards the lower spine. I hope that makes sense. All right, so we're going to do our little bit of Qigong warm-up right now, seated. Inhaling for triple burner. The arms come up. They release down through the high dantian. Your heart is the middle dantian, and come all the way down to your abdomen. And we do that 9 times as a beginning for our day. Inhaling up, exhaling through 3 dantians, or dantines is another way it's called. D-A-N-T-I-E-N, energy centers. 3 of them: the head, the heart and lungs, and the abdomen. That's probably around 4. We're going to continue. 5. And we'll end with 6 here, because I want to get to some other moves for the Qigong warm-up. And now we'll begin our next Qigong phase, which is, excuse me, Buddha picks up the earth. Exhaling down. Inhale through the central core here, your central meridian. Turn the palms over and exhale out and up, pushing the world into the sky with your breath and your movement. Good. Excuse me. Our next move will be to pick up a feather and let it go. On this one, you really feel the ribs expand and you feel them also separate. I'm touching my middle finger, my little finger, my index finger, and my thumb on this. And now I'm pulling this feather up on your right side and my left. I'm mirroring you. Inhaling on the other side, this is your left side. And exhaling down. 3 of those. Feel it go. You might even want to kind of follow it with your peripheral vision. It goes up all the way towards the sky. You don't even have to lift your head here. Just watch it go. Beautiful. So after this, you can use any number of moves that we've done in Qigong, but let's do some of the work that we've done with the owl. So lengthening through the spine, looking over towards one side on the inhale, coming back to the center on the exhale, inhaling over here on the other side so that the chin's right up above the shoulder, and inhaling back to center. And one more. And I've got my owl wings out to the side. I'm actually imitating what we call mountain pose in yoga with the chest wide open, the palms out. So now you're going to bring your chin down to your chest and do a circle with your owl head over towards your right. Your ear will be right opposite that shoulder, and up and around. 2 more. And 1 more here. Good. Now you're going to go the opposite direction. So my chin is close to my chest. I'm going to bring this ear over to this shoulder. Still opening the arms wide here for the chest opening. Exhale, inhale up and around. It's almost as if when you come down with your chin to the chest and the ear comes to the shoulder, it's the perfect point of making this circle. So find that point with ear over shoulder, whatever side you're on. Bring the shoulders back, open the palms, and it's a lot easier to do this. That's the head roll. So we next could do something for the shoulders. For example, bringing your fingers right outside the shoulder here and inhaling forward, up, back and down. A lot of bird feelings here, right? It feels like your bird wings are opening this morning or this afternoon. And you're going to take it around the opposite way. This is if both shoulders work. If both shoulders don't work, just do one side. You can always modify anything that we're doing in this class. Good. Now bring the arms out into a T. Don't I look like I'm a T here? There's the bottom and here's the sides. All right, now you're going to circle the palms. And this is really opening all the way up from the shoulder to the fingers. So I don't really drop them here. I'm right up there. But I do bring my shoulder blades down the back while I'm doing this. And the other way now. You've gone forward. Now you're going to go back with your circles. So this is circling shoulder all the way down to the fingers. If we want to get isolating the wrist to the fingers for just the wrists here, we could just do this. But notice how even when you do that, it's involving the muscles and the tendons all the way up here to your elbow. So there's no way we can escape the fact that movements, even when we isolate them, but we can do that even more. We can do this. That's a circle, and this is a circle. And that can be done really slowly. Forward and back. Nothing has to be fast. And the idea of going slow in Tai Chi Chih is to discover our own ability to be slow, continuous, grounded, and work with some of these basic, simple principles of relaxing the joints. From here, you can, even seated, do a spinal twist here. So you would lengthen up through the spine, perhaps bring one arm over to the other side. I'm using my right here to my left, but you would be using your left to your right. And you're going to come over here, open, lengthening through the spine, and twist on your chair or stool a little bit. And this actually affects all the little nerves that come off the spine. So it's very good. It's spinal twist is what we're doing. And then you can bring the hand that's left out over there and to the other side. Just rest it on your outside of your other leg and open and twist and come back to center. And that can also be done with the arms up. So here you are lengthening here, twist to one side, come center, and twist to the opposite side. It's a little bit hard to do this seated. So I would say don't make this a very big twist, but enough so that you can feel it. From there, you can pat down. That's something you can do here, seated. A lot of what we do in Tai Chi Chih, you can do seated or standing. We've been doing this great Qigong exercise for the skin and the blood vessels. And you can bring it all the way down to your tummy and then down the legs here, going down towards your feet. You don't have to go even that far if you want to just go halfway. There's no really big have-tos in this, except to find some way to enjoy your body and its ability to move. And then you might want to just rub yourself down all the way down to what's comfortable for you, and then rub down the arms. And this is said to actually release tension. And you can do it on the inside of the arms. Yeah, and then without anything on your head, you can also do some combing into your hair and that area here. And this area here is really important. So as you know, we hold a lot of tension in our jaw. So just release it, say ya, 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 ya. Ah. The jaw drops down and back. So if you put your fingers here on the back of the jaw, it's not yaw, it's ya, 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 ya. Now say ya. Ah. Yeah, you want that kind of opening and relaxation of your mouth. So I think that's good for the beginning of this class. I'm going to continue now with not Qigong, but with Tai Chi Chih. Well, that's a little bit of a misnomer, actually, because Tai Chi Chih is under the umbrella of Qigong. And so in that way, it's related to both Tai Chi Chuan and to Qigong moves. So it's a lot of things. It's also related to yoga. And we have some moves here, especially the spine, the connection of the long spine very much comes from what we think of as yoga. And even our weight shift we've been working on this semester, to me, comes from yoga. Maybe not to everyone, but to me. And all right, so you're going to first begin by just dropping your heels down and bouncing a little bit. And then finding your mountain pose, opening your palms forward and your chest, lengthening through the spine, and then finding your first connections to a side-to-side weight shift. Everything comes over here, then everything comes over here. Feel that connection. Good. Now you're going to drop your left heel forward. So notice as you did that, you started with this wide, this is the rider on horse position from Qigong, and the wide stance with the toes moving out this way, and then you shifted over towards this right leg, and then you dropped your left heel forward. There's plenty of space now between my heels so that they're not going to cross each other. And that's a very important point because you want to make sure that you've got enough width between your heels that they don't cross, but not so much that you can't hold your balance. So let's shift over to this side now and bring your right heel forward and just go forward and back. So notice as you go forward and back, we're not making a big deal out of it right now, but you would be gliding through the center with the weight into both legs and through into the foot itself. And then you would be gliding back. And as you glide back, the toe will rise. As you glide forward, the back heel will rise. And those are basic principles that the slowness is created by a slow weight shift connected to the energy C here at the belly. So connect it all and you'll have much better balance. Here's an inhale. Here's an exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. So that was for your right leg. If we want to make it now for your left leg, we're going to shift into that right side first. Release the left heel. Bring your palms behind you, perhaps, just to not get engaged here with the hands. And move forward and back. And the back leg, the foot is in a 45-degree angle to the front leg. So that's another basic principle that we're going to work with. So there's your forward back weight shift on your left side. We did it before on the right side. Okay, let's look at one more type of weight shift that we have that we use for carry the ball to the side, for example. Then we're using a side-to-side shift. So carry the ball to the side, we would wind up, drop this left heel, and we would shift the weight over 3 times. Carrying a ball. And then we would bring in the outside foot, which is now straight, more or less straight, and bring it in. The leg never locks. So when I say it's almost straight, I mean that. You're not going to tighten that knee joint without hurting yourself. So just leave the leg a little bit loose, even when it's a straight leg that we call the yin leg, and a bent leg that we call the yang leg. And let's see, is there anything else I want to do here? Yeah, I think that's good. We've also talked about the Buddhist walking meditation. I think that's a great way to build some strength in your feet, and you only really need 5 feet of space. So dropping down, shift towards your right leg, and drop the left heel and move forward. Now drop the right heel and move forward. And one more. Good. So that's just 3 steps. Now we're going to go back with the toe coming first all the way down to the back heel. Shift to the other leg. You can push off from the front leg and find your way back to where you were. So those are great things. You basically want to have the feeling that you've moved the energy through the whole foot. So let me get my chair again so I can show that. Okay, so if you're moving through the whole foot and you're walking, you want to get to the point where you're not walking on your toes to your heels, but you're walking from your heels to your toes. So here, I put my leg up here. Hope this illustrates what I mean. Here's 2 points on the front foot, either side of your toes here and behind here. Just below that point is what we call the The bubbling spring or the bubbling well is another way it's called. I think it's called, it's an acupressure point. And then down here you have what seems like one point of the heel, but a lot of people pronate out on either side. So you might want to think of the big toe and the little toe in front as all connected in between, and the back of the heel as all connected in between. And this center point here that you want to move over. So if possible, you want to begin to feel that bubbling spring or bubbling well. The only way to really feel that and begin to realize how important it is to practice a slow walk forward or just even a weight shift forward. So here I've got my chair here ready to do my right leg, but I'm going to start with my left leg or your left leg, right? So here I am. I'm going to drop down, shift towards this stool. I did probably a little bit too far there, or I want to be farther. And I'm going to drop down, move my weight towards the chair here, and release the left leg, your left leg. And just the heel came down. Now I'm going to send the weight into the front foot and send it back towards the back heel. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. Beautiful. Okay, it's beautiful when it feels beautiful, right? You're going to bring your other hand over here to the chair. In this case, it's my right hand and your left hand. This is your left side and my right. So here I'm going to drop down for your right leg to come forward. So I shift down first. That means I drop my weight and the knees are a little bit soft here. And I'm going to bring the weight all the way over towards this chair and release your right leg. And I'm going to shift into the leg, forward, and shift back. Shift forward, and shift back. Feels really good because you go right over that bubbling spring when you do this. You can feel it change as you bring the weight to the forward part of the foot. You can feel it change as it comes back towards the heel and the toes rise. Okay, so play with all those things because they're really cool ways of looking at how to become slow. I think that's good for our little mini lecture today before we begin our Tai Chi Chih, and we'll start with this standing. Those of you who are seated, I hope to address that soon with a video on how we can explore seated practice. But right now we're going to finish up the semester knowing how to do the standing practice pretty well. And I think some of you are already able to modify all of this for a seated practice. Good luck as you do that. Tai Chi Chih, 19 movements in one pose. Rocking motion. Let's slow it down. Feel the rocking into the front foot, the heels lifting slightly, the rocking into the back foot, the toes lifting slightly. Feel the arms as they seem to make the infinity symbol, the figure 8 here. And everything begins to get soft. All the joints are soft. The digits, your fingers are soft. See if you can feel your toes. When the chi is moving in the body, your energy working with your connection of the breath, the oxygenation of the blood, and the mind, which is not listening to its cell phone for an hour, you begin to get a real feeling of connection to energy. But that doesn't happen so much in aerobic exercise. It happens in slow movement, which is meditation-like, which is the essence of T'ai Chi Chih, 19 movements and one pose. So we don't get there right away. It takes about 20 minutes, I think, to really begin to feel that every joint is working for you. But that's why I think the Qigong warm-up helps. And after you've done maybe 9, 27, or 36 of these, as a warm-up, your whole body slows down. Your heart rate slows down. Your mind starts to really relax and just focus, not on a million things, but just this feeling of letting go. And when you get there, you know it, and you say, okay, it's time to ground. And when you ground, there's an inhale, and then you release and rest on globes of energy. Rocking motion comes to what we call a graceful conclusion. And from there, we move into bird flaps its wings. Heels are almost touching, but they're not quite. So there's still this sense of the V here. And you're going to drop down into your bird body, and the heels will lift. Inhale and release. Inhale slowly and release. Feel the heels rise. Make sure your feet are in a V here, like a bird on the edge of a branch. There's a wrist circle on the third one. 2 more cycles of 3. And the last cycle of 3 will be the last of bird flaps its wings. And let it go. Return to inhale and lengthen the spine. And then ground. As we move through these various movements that we have today, our next one will be around the platter, and around the platter variation will be connected in the same kind of way, just a little bit of a variation of the first one here. So now we do around the platter. It's our first forward back weight shift of the day. We shift into your right leg. Your left leg comes forward. The back foot's already 45-degree angle to it. And then you move around in a circle here. Noticing how your circle returns to the center. And even when the exhale starts, it's out there right about in the center in front. The center of the body is everything. Really important to feel like you're moving from the center, and that you know where the center of the body is with your circle. And last one. Draw the foot back in and ground it through the earth. And prepare to shift laterally towards your left to bring your right heel forward. Back foot's already 45-degree angle. And to go into around the platter on your right side. Notice how you're moving around what we call chest high water here in this circle. And is the whole body following that circle? Not really. You're really letting the arms do their own circle, but the body's just coming forward and back. That's an important part of this. And the circle moves outside whatever foot is forward. So in this case, it's your right foot and it returns to the left side, but that's your back foot there. That's going to connect the grounding there. Here's where the grounding is in front. Here's where it is in back. And it needs to all synchronize so that the arms don't move faster than the legs. I hope that makes sense. Let's do 3 more or 2 more. 2's enough. Good. So that's around the platter. We inhale that and then send it into the earth. And the next one is around the platter variation. So we simply ground first, which we did, move over here towards the energy, moving into this right leg. Bring your left leg forward, pick up a ball of energy by your left shoulder, drop it center on your circle, and return the energy to the back foot. So here's your inhale through the nostrils, and here's your exhale back to the back foot. And connect the nostrils to the belly, and then you've got expansion and contraction at the energy seat. Two more. We'll make 9. I may miscount here because your brain starts to just kind of go into a meditation place where you're semi-aware what's going on, and you exhale down. You shift laterally towards your left. Your right heel comes forward for around the platter variation right side. Surely you must feel the inhale, exhale, I hope. Here it is right here, inhale. And the exhale there as you return towards the back foot. And it's all connecting with your weight shift here. Now glide through the center. And then release the front toe. Last one. Beautiful. And send it through the earth in your terms of your energy, resting on globes of energy in resistance to gravity right here, right opposite this Dantian point. Good. So that ends the around the platters. And after that, we have, and the variation, bass drum followed by the daughters. Bass drum. Grounding, shifting laterally, Releasing your left heel and coming around the rim of a drum. As you come back with the elbows, feel the circle of that drum. Forward and back. Feel your inhale and your exhale. Two more. Last one. Bring the foot back in and ground it through the earth. Shift laterally towards your left. Release your right. For bass drum, lengthen through the spine. This is something we tend to forget. How important that is, because that actually helps you breathe better. Breathing in here through the nostrils and the belly. Use your whole core for your practice. It's a soft breath, but it's solid all the way up. Solid and long. Two more. Last one. They say the last is always better than the first. I think as you move on through this practice, it gets easier and easier. Inhale and exhale. Double ground it for sure. We now move to daughter on the mountaintop, daughter in the valley. Shift to your right, release your left. Prepare your palms to be in the valley to go to the top of the mountain, and your left hand will be close to the heart. As the wrists cross, your right wrist will cross over your left. I don't mirror this move, so my left hand and your left hand both are close to the heart here. I'm only mirroring legs mostly here. Breathing in through your nostrils and your tummy. Take a full long breath in and a long exhale out. Makes sense because when you climb a mountain, you use the inhale to get up. And when you come down through the center trail here, you're using an exhale. The exhale involves quite a bit of control because it follows all the way down through the central meridian. As those palms cross and move down, the body moves back with that slow exhale. And if it's daughter on the mountaintop, the inhale when you get to the top is seeing the view. All these practices seem to connect to nature in some way. Tai Chi is full of them. Qigong is definitely full of them. Daughter on the mountaintop. Yeah, there we are at the top of the mountain, and here we're coming down through the central trail. It's a given. And last one. Good, that's the left side. Now you've got another side to go. This is your right side Next, you're going to shift left to bring the right heel forward. Prepare your mountain. You're at the bottom of the hill now, and you're going to go up. The mountains are on both sides. Perhaps your valley is here where you have to come down through the middle. All in your imagination. Or not. Or depending on your experience, it could be just metaphoric for what you've been through in your life. Lots of possibilities, right? But notice how at this point in the practice, your wrists, your fingers, your palms are so warm and connected. They're so released and relaxed. The elbows are relaxed. The knees are relaxed. One more of Daughter on the Mountaintop. When we get to 9 or about, then we move into our next related companion move, which is Daughter in the Valley. You start on the mountain, shifting over to your right first, releasing your left, and you come through the valley. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling through the central meridian and exhaling out towards the earth. When palms move up, that's generally a sign that it's an inhale. When they come down, it's generally a sign that they're an exhale in Qigong. Two more. Good. Bring the foot back in. Ground it through the earth. And we're moving to the opposite side, shifting towards your left, releasing your right. Daughter in the valley. Now is when I always feel the softness of this practice comes in. Softness, relaxation, heart rate slowed down. I don't care about anything else but doing this right now. That's meditation. Focus. And letting go. It's kind of almost hypnotic, isn't it? Last one. Daughter in the Valley comes to a graceful conclusion. Sink it into the earth. Double ground it. This is a personal feeling of mine, perhaps, but I think what we've all been through for the last 3 years deserves quite a bit of grounding at this point. So exhale down. Start the inhale here. Bring it to your heart. Sink it down slowly with the exhale. Take it up higher to the trees that you can now walk into the parks and see how beautiful they are, how they've, at least in California, they've become more and more green or healthy with the water we've been getting lately. So we have a lot of gratitude for that. And then maybe we'll see the sun later. I don't know. We'll hope so, but we know what it looks like. It's very bright when it's out there. and then relax and ground. So just tap your heels a moment here. Tap your balls of your feet for a moment. Bring all your digits together. Start from the outside of the feet and the outside of the fingers and just play them like you're playing music. From the little toe to the big toe, from the little finger to the big thumb. Can you do that? Yeah, they start to get really relaxed too. So that's important. Our next move after the daughters is carry the ball to the side. So now we do our side to side weight shift, which has always been super fun. As you pick up an energy ball over here, the energy's in this leg now, it's yang or substantial. This leg is yin. People say straighten that leg, but you want to keep it a little bit loose there and then release it out there. And that's yin now, solid straight leg and yang here. But my knee is still a little bit soft. It's not ever going to lock because I don't want it to. None of the joints should be locked. When you get over here, bring in the outside leg, sink it through the earth, wind up, release the other leg, move 3 times. Bring the foot in, sink it through the earth, and this is your 3rd one. And repeat, going back. Wind up this direction. Release that heel and move. And go back. Wind up, release the heel, and go. And 3rd one. Good. Nice. Okay, so that's carry the ball to the side. We now have push, pull, and pulling in the energy next. Dropping down for push, pull. Shifting towards your right. There's circularity in this move as the fingertips move up. The wrists turn around and the energy moves back to your heart on the inhale. Reverse breathing move. Push, pull. Also called giving and receiving energy. Feel your breath. Keep breathing. Keep connecting that breath to your movement. That's really important. That is what brings the chi to the body. It's not magic. It's increasing your circulation with the connection of the breath to the movement, and then that connection to the mind and the body, which affects your emotional health, really. Also, it's just brings you to a point of wanting to do it every morning early. The joy of movement is the joy of living. as a metaphor anyway. Here's an example of circularity here. The circle has moved down and now it moves up and now it moves back to you. Your body on the inhale. Let's do 2 more on this left side, okay? If you do get tired, you can always sit down. And bring the foot back in. Inhale and release the energy into the ground. Shift it over towards your left, release your right. Push, pull, right side. Lengthen through the spine. Don't forget that. I sometimes do. Yeah, as we get older, we want to make sure that we keep that sense of the long spine all the time and the center of the body all the time. Moving from the center. Crucial. One more on this side. Beautiful. Feel the beautiful feeling in your body. I mean, that's what this is all about. So letting it go into the earth as you ground, and then maybe double ground it. Why not? When the energy is flowing, you almost really need to stop and ground. A couple more. There's your beautiful long inhale. Here's your beautiful long exhale through the nostrils. And then we go to our next, what was once the companion move to this one of push-pull, was pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe. Makes sense because this one doesn't begin with the exhale, it begins with the inhale. So the palms are up, and you're pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe, whatever your universe is. The universe is so vast, let's just make it in our solar system. Or let's just make it what once guided the ships. A particular star, sometimes the North Star. And then there was the compass that told you where you were. But imagine what it would be like to have to depend completely on the stars. So bringing the energy from them, it seems like a magic idea. That's your visualization within this one move of pulling in the energy. Bring it in through your fingertips on the inhale. Release it over here on your exhale. Last one coming up on your left side. Return the foot and ground the energy into the earth. Shift towards your left leg. Bring your right forward. Palms are up. You're bringing in energy from the farthest star in the universe with a circle that moves out with the inhale and back with the exhale. Bending the forward leg, straightening the back, bending the back leg, straightening the front. The inevitable connection of yin and yang, power and resilience. Two more. Last one of pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe with your fingertips. Ground it through the earth. And now we're ready to go to what is my favorite part of this class, working with the taffies. We've moved all the way through all of these moves down here: rocking motion, bird flaps its wings around the platter variation, bass drum, daughter on the mountaintop, daughter in the valley, carry the ball to the side, push, pull, and pulling in the energy. Right where this rubber band is the beginning of the taffies. Pulling taffy in 3 variations. Basic taffy. Okay, I'm going to come a little bit closer to you for basic taffy. Palms are crossing. They're facing. They're said to move through resistance here, heavy air. And then you ground through the earth and do it on the opposite side. So there's this continual change of which leg is yang and which leg is yin when you begin with. It's the connection of all opposites. Your underneath hand is said to be the invite hand. So you're invited now to go to your right with the right hand under for you. And now you're invited to go to the left with the left hand under for you. And you pull in the outside foot. And there's a stickiness between the palms. That's why it's called basic taffy. Like the candy that some of us used to struggle with at Coney Island when we, as kids, went there and ate it. My brother got really sick. Exhale, ate too much taffy. But this taffy you can never get enough of. It's always good for you. And we'll do one more set here of basic taffy. This way, towards your right, with your right hand under. And this way, towards your left, with your left hand under, returning to what we're going to call home here. And sinking through the earth with the grounding. Let's double ground each one of the taffies, because they are full of beautiful energy, I think. Good, that's basic taffy. Now we have 3 variations. The first is anchor taffy. You'll anchor your right foot. Your left foot will move forward. Your left hand will be underneath. And the taffy moves with it. Then your side to side taffy now brings in the anchor that you didn't move until now. And then you change feet and the other foot becomes the anchor. It doesn't move. And like a boat, the anchor makes sure that you can see several directions. And then when you want to, you bring it in and you'll land that anchor somewhere else. Now the anchor is going to move forward. It's just dropped into the water there. And this back leg is actually the anchor now. It's a continual change of who's in charge. Just like life. Right foot comes forward. Right hand's underneath. Sink it and move towards that direction. And we'll do 2 more sets of this. Good. Anchor tapping now comes to its graceful conclusion. Sink it through the earth a couple times. And then we come to our second variation of basic taffy, and this is circles taffy. It involves sinking and rising. The feet are in a V here. And on the third sinking, you're going to do this wind up over here, and then pull your taffy back this way with your left hand under. Sink and begin again. In one important part of Qigong is the principle of sinking and rising. So there's a lot of that in this particular move. Notice here, I'm going to rise now to inhale and sink to exhale and begin again. And yes, it's joy of movement, so it's quite joyous. Smile, it'll make it easier for you. And last one, going home here. Circles taffy comes to a graceful conclusion. Sink it into the earth, resting on globes of energy. And we move to our next move, our third variation, which is perpetual motion taffy with heel step. And the heel will come right off the earth and move to the front of the foot. Ready? Take your time on this because you want to make sure that you get fully grounded over here on this foot before you lift the other heel. And this one, perpetual motion taffy, it can go on far more than 9 times. So you can do this any number till when you get like, okay, that's enough. Because the idea is that we'll be doing this taffy and able to move ourselves this way with our breath connection to our movement for a long time, even when we're aging. And this kind of work keeps us healthy. Breathing, moving, connecting to ideas. Actually builds brain cells too. So don't stop unless you're really in pain. And then sometimes you have to stop and do something or change it to make it less energetic. And nothing wrong with that. Do what you can. Perpetual motion to happy has come to a graceful conclusion. And now we move into working the pulley. Your left hand will be forward, your left foot will come forward, your right hand's under the hip bone here. And it's going to come back and then move forward and surprise you. It's the companion hand. It's a cross body move here. And you don't have to bring this over the shoulder at all. It's just pretty easy on the shoulders. If you just feel the hand come forward, the elbow is going to stay somewhat bent as you bring that energy back through the hip. And the hand that's in charge here is your left right now. Your left foot is in front. When you do the inhale, it will not be there. This will be the exhale. This will be the inhale as the hip is brought back on that side. And then the other hand just follows along. It's the companion hand. And we should be standing up taller here. Last one on your left side. Good. Send it through the earth. Prepare for your right side. Right hand comes forward. That will be the exhale forward. This will be the inhale back when that hand pulls back with the hip. Ready? Here we go. And you can do a shorter forward back weight shift on this if you like. I mean, it makes it easier to swivel the heel in back and the toe in front. You're actually swiveling on the back ball of the foot. That's what allows the heel to move. And you're swiveling on the front heel. If you're in shoes, it's a little bit harder to do that. So rug helps, grass helps, mud is great. If you're wearing shoes, you'll just need to modify this so that you don't torque your knee or your ankle on this. Ankle, knee, and hip always need to be together. They're healthy partners. And one more here. Bring the foot back in. Inhale to sink it through the earth. Let's double ground that one. We've finished a very important part of what I call a symphony with T'ai Chi Chih. And we're now moving into the head part. So feet are in a V. We're going to next do light at the top of the head, light at the temple. Inhale the palms. Prepare to let your knees go out this way. It's healthy for them so that the knee doesn't go beyond the big toe is also healthy for you. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up to the crown of the head. Here's your light over the crown of the head, the back of the skull there. The chin should be parallel to the earth. Sink and rise. Circle the palms, mixing the energies that you've been working with for the last hour. And holding the energy there on the inhale. And sink and rise again. Or for the first time. And release the energy down. Left hand comes to the heart with the inhale. Yours and mine. Exhale down through the whole central meridian. Come to your temples. Light at the temple. Sink and rise. Feet in a V. Let the energy move out. Feel that exhale. It's some letting go there. And now circle it outside your head. You can somehow feel a connection there at the palms as they are spinning forward and spinning back. 6 to 9 times. And hold the energy. Inhale and sink and rise and let it go. Where does it go? It goes into this earth. It gets recycled like everything else. Inhale through back into your heart again. Sink it down. Prepare for our next move, which is joyous breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale everything. You can into your heart. Exhale down. Now inhale again, come up to the balls of the feet. Release the jaw slightly. You'll be making some noise here for your joyous breath. It's very yawn. Another cycle of 4. Third cycle of 4. Joyous breath. Be fun with it. That means smile. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly. Passing clouds. All things change. One hand is facing the earth. One is moving towards heaven. You're going to pass through energy here. And then the other side does the same thing. And shifting one way, shifting the other. Perhaps even touching your elbow, depending on how you're doing a weight shift here. Or not. Keeping it simple is sometimes the best. Just feeling the center, not even following the mirror or hand here, letting it go. Outside in nature, it's different, but here, keep it simple. And last one, bring the foot in, sink it through the earth, and prepare for your 6 healing sounds, which I have put right there today. And I'll bring them up here so that they're readable, hopefully, at least for a moment. All right. They are Ho, Hu, Tsu, Shi, Chi, Chih. Ho is heart, Hu is spleen, Tsu is liver, Shi is lungs, Chi is triple heater, and Chui is the kidneys. All right, are we ready? Left hand, left foot for you. And now we aspirate. We don't say these aloud. So They don't often come through on Zoom, so I'm going to do them first where we're making some noise, and then we'll do it silently. Ready? Ho, hu, su, sh, shi, chui, heart, ho, spleen, hu, liver, su, sh, lungs, chi, triple heater, shi, and kidneys, chui. Ready? Here we go. Last one, 5 chewies. Circling the energy of yin and yang and yin, all the opposites we have now brought together. And bringing your left heel to your right ankle bone for cosmic consciousness pose. Looking over the window of eternity or through it with gratitude. Thank you for your practice.